Have you ever felt that creeping suspicion that something has shifted in your relationship? That quiet distance in her eyes, the subtle disinterest, or even the times she seemed to pull away emotionally? Most men chalk it up to boredom, a passing phase, or even blame themselves for not doing enough. But today, I want to take you deep into a truth that most people overlook. There's one emotional need, a single silent driver, that if left unfulfilled, can make a woman look elsewhere for what she craves. This isn't about money, status, or even superficial attraction. It's about something far more profound, something fundamental to her emotional survival, and understanding it could save you heartbreak or strengthen your connection beyond measure. Every human being has emotional needs, but women, more often than men, prioritize emotional security and deep connection. When I say emotional security, I don't mean protection from physical harm. I'm talking about the sense that she is truly seen, understood, valued, and respected for who she is at her core. Think about it. We spend years in school, training our minds, developing skills, building careers, yet many of us fail to truly learn how to meet this need in our partners. And when it's missing, even if everything else seems perfect, a woman's heart begins to wander. It's not malicious. It's not about selfishness. It's about a deep, instinctual desire to feel emotionally nourished and understood. Consider the moments she looks at you but seems distant, or when she seeks more attention from friends, colleagues, or even strangers. These are subtle signals, quiet cries for emotional fulfillment. Many men misinterpret them as flirtation or dissatisfaction with you personally. The reality is far simpler. She is seeking the one emotional need that isn't being met. She wants to feel deeply connected, appreciated, and emotionally safe in the relationship. If she consistently senses neglect, dismissiveness, or emotional unavailability, her mind begins to explore other possibilities. Not because she stopped loving you, but because the emotional void becomes unbearable. It's important to understand that this emotional need isn't about constant attention or overbearing affection. It's about presence, attunement, and validation. Women want to feel that their inner world matters. They want to know that when they share their fears, dreams, or frustrations, they are truly heard. When that doesn't happen, she may unconsciously start seeking that understanding elsewhere, in someone who makes her feel alive, seen, and valued. And it's rarely malicious. It's the human need for emotional survival asserting itself. Let's be honest, men often misread this. We tend to think that providing for her, giving gifts, or planning dates is enough. And while those gestures are nice, they aren't substitutes for true emotional connection. Emotional needs are invisible. You can't buy them, you can't schedule them, and you can't fake them without eventually being found out. She feels whether you are emotionally present, whether you are attuned to her moods, whether you remember her small victories, her disappointments, the subtle cues of her emotional state. When these are consistently ignored, it's like living in a room without sunlight. You survive, but you don't thrive. The emotional need I'm talking about is, at its core, validation and emotional intimacy. Validation doesn't mean agreeing with everything she says or giving in to every demand. It means acknowledging her reality, understanding her feelings, and making her feel that her inner world matters. Emotional intimacy means sharing your own thoughts, fears, and vulnerabilities, allowing her to see the real you, and creating a space where both of you can be genuinely open. When either of these is missing, the connection falters. You may be thinking, but I love her. I never wanted her to look elsewhere. And that's exactly why this understanding is crucial. Love alone, without emotional attunement, can't prevent her heart from wandering. Love without connection can't satisfy her deepest need. Women often look elsewhere, not for adventure or excitement, but for understanding and resonance they are not finding at home. This is why relationships fail quietly, because unmet emotional needs grow slowly, almost invisibly, until they dominate her subconscious choices. So how do you know if this is happening? The signs are subtle but unmistakable. She may seem less enthusiastic about sharing her day, may laugh less at your jokes, may stop initiating intimacy, or may seem distracted even when you are together. She might confide more in friends or colleagues than in you. These are not punishments or attempts to hurt you. They are reflections of a basic human need left unmet. Recognizing these signs early is key, and the solution, emotional presence. It's deceptively simple but challenging to master. Start by actively listening, not planning your response, not judging, not fixing her problems, but genuinely listening. Notice her moods, her subtle cues, her joys, and her frustrations. Validate her emotions without trying to solve them. Share your own feelings and vulnerabilities so she can see the real you. Create rituals of emotional connection, even if small. Morning conversations over coffee, intentional check-ins. Even a single thoughtful message that shows you are tuned in. It's not grand gestures that matter most, but consistency, attentiveness, and authenticity. One of the most powerful tools you have is empathy. Imagine what it feels like to be her, carrying all the pressures, expectations, and insecurities that life places on her. Empathy doesn't just bridge a gap, it fortifies it. When a woman senses that you truly understand her emotional world, her loyalty deepens. Her desire to seek connection elsewhere diminishes, not because she's controlled or manipulated, but because her deepest need is finally met where it belongs, with you. Some men fear vulnerability, thinking that showing weakness or emotional openness diminishes their masculinity. But the reality is the opposite. Emotional strength is not about stoicism or avoidance. It's about courage, awareness, and genuine presence. By showing that you can engage with her emotional reality, you create a bond that is unshakable. You become her anchor in a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable. And in doing so, you prevent her heart from drifting to someone else who seems to get her better. It's also essential to understand that this emotional need is ongoing. It's not a one-time fix. Life will change, stressors will arise, and emotional gaps can appear if neglected. Maintaining this connection requires attention, awareness, and effort every day. Relationships thrive when both partners continuously nurture emotional intimacy. And when this is done, the relationship evolves from mere coexistence to deep partnership, where both feel valued, understood, and connected. Now, I want to stress something crucial. This insight is not about blame. If your partner has ever sought emotional connection elsewhere, it's not a condemnation of you as a man. It's an opportunity to reflect, learn, and grow. Understanding this emotional need equips you to respond thoughtfully, rather than react defensively. It transforms potential heartbreak into a chance to deepen intimacy and strengthen the bond you share. Remember, the core principle here is simple. Meet her need to feel emotionally understood, seen, and validated. Listen more than you speak, understand more than you judge, engage more than you withdraw. When you do, you will notice subtle but powerful changes. Her warmth returning, her trust deepening, and her desire to connect with you more profoundly than ever before. Emotional needs are not optional, they are essential. And the one emotional need that often drives women to look elsewhere is the need to feel deeply understood and connected. It's quiet, it's invisible, and it's incredibly powerful. By learning to meet this need, you are not just preventing infidelity or emotional distance. You are elevating your relationship to a level where both partners feel truly alive, appreciated, and secure. So, if you take one thing from this lecture, let it be this: relationships are not built solely on attraction, comfort, or love in isolation. They are built on the delicate, daily practice of emotional connection, validation, and intimacy. Meet her emotional need, and you will find that the bond you create is not only resilient but deeply fulfilling for both of you. She won't need to look elsewhere, because what she is searching for is already with you, seen, heard, and deeply valued. In closing, the journey of love is not just about passion or companionship, it's about understanding the silent languages of the heart. Emotional needs, though invisible, shape our choices, our loyalty, and our happiness. If you commit to being emotionally present, empathetic, and genuinely attuned, you don't just strengthen your relationship. You become the kind of partner every woman longs for, and the kind of man who transforms love into something unshakable and enduring. Remember this: she is not looking elsewhere to hurt you. She is searching for a connection that feels like home. Be the home she's been seeking all along.